Yep.
Okay. Hi, my name's Amy Sinacola and this is Tracy Churchill, and we're doing a short video series over the next 4 weeks to help nurses feel encouraged and supported to start posting on LinkedIn, start sharing some of their wisdom, their thoughts and experiences on this platform. And over the next few weeks we are going to be talking about a range of issues around why LinkedIn is a great forum for nurses to be posting on, what and how to post and when, how to deal with negative comments and marriage proposals like some people have had, and how to stand up, feel empowered and be part of a nursing community that has a place to be heard and a platform to have a voice. So without further ado, I'll just introduce Tracy a little bit more. Tracy, do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself and why and how this conversation has come around? Because we only met yesterday, didn't we? We had a conversation yesterday and here we are today doing this. So tell me a little bit more about how this has all come about.
Okay, well, last week I had a fascinating conversation with another professional colleague around LinkedIn because they reached out to me from seeing my articles on LinkedIn. And when I mentioned to them how valuable I found the nursing post that I had seen on LinkedIn, they said they didn't really see LinkedIn as a platform for nurses. So I put a post up asking nurses on LinkedIn, why do you post if you do? And if you're on LinkedIn and you don't post, then why not? And this has stimulated some really fascinating conversations. I've learned a lot from so many people, and I guess so many things have come out of this. People sharing that they're not confident of what to post, or they're concerned about breaching the social media policy of their organizations, concerned about how others would view them, and also stereotypes about nurses and how we feel about our profession in general. So I guess that's what stimulated this conversation, and that's why we're now talking on here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just replied to your post. I saw it pop up in my feed and I just replied to your post and said, yeah, I started posting on LinkedIn and found it really useful. And I think once you get over that initial fear of what to post and who's going to listen to me or what have I got to say, and start connecting and engaging with other people, the learning and sharing that takes place is great, actually. And I think I put on there, found so much value in connecting with people on the other side of the world like you are. I think I didn't say you're in Australia, in Brisbane, and I'm in Manchester, UK. So we're really kind of forming part of an international nursing forum, I suppose, and conversation through the medium of LinkedIn, which is amazing.
Absolutely. And I will admit as well, when I first joined LinkedIn, I was not sure what to post. And when I started to write articles, just pushing the publish button was a really big feat for me. So
Yeah.
I totally empathize with other people in that same situation who maybe haven't posted yet, or maybe haven't published anything yet, but do want to.
Yeah.
And that both you and I have heard from people is them not sure if they're qualified enough, or what right do they have to publish things, and are they experienced enough. And something that I find that amazing, because all nurses have so much to give, and not only in our professional fields but also to each other and in professional spaces like I see LinkedIn to be. So when someone said that on the post, I said, who is more qualified to talk about your experience as a nurse than you?
Exactly. And I think it comes down to really, I think I noticed on one of the comments someone said about how nurses are a humble profession, and I thought about that a little bit. And there's been a lot of coverage over here, and probably where you are too, because of COVID-19, of camera crews in intensive cares and interviewing people who are working incredibly hard in incredibly challenging and tough situations and tough times. And what strikes you is how they kind of say, I'm just doing my job. There's no kind of heroics or drama about it, and I get that, but actually to so many other people, just doing that job is freaking amazing. There's so much to be proud about, and so much to be telling other people about what doing that job involves, because again, there's a huge shortage of nurses. We struggle to retain nurses, to recruit nurses into the profession, and when all we hear is negativity, or how stressful or how awful it is, or how many people are leaving the profession, and all the negative stories and news around nursing, where are the positive news stories, and where are the good things, and where's the learning, and how can we shout about all the wonderful things about nurses that are going to help bring people into the profession, and change some of the stereotypes and some of the perceptions that people have of nurses, maybe. So maybe this is one forum where we can start to do that, and start to connect with people outside of the nursing world and profession, to start sharing some of these things that we do that are useful to so many other industries as well. I mean, you were telling me yesterday about something you'd done that had been picked up by other companies, organisations that wanted to emulate something that you'd done. Do you want to share a bit about that post?
Yes, well, so the thing that I have recently decided to do is to create a personal user manual for myself. And I got this idea from Adam Grant, who's a Wharton organisational psychologist, and I follow him on LinkedIn. He recommended that we create user manuals for ourselves, for the people who we work with. Because when we get something as simple as a toaster, it comes with an instruction manual. But people are so much more complicated than that. And when you get to work with a new person, you get nothing. You have no idea what they like, what they don't like, what brings out their best and worst. And so what he recommended was that we go to people who we have worked with before, our directors, our peers, and people who've reported to us, and ask them honestly specific questions about our strengths and weaknesses, collate them into a document, and then provide it to people who we're going to work with in the future. And yeah, I've had people from all different industries, from education, from other health organizations, but not who I work with, a media corporation, and even some people in the finance sector. It's been fascinating to see who's interested in these types of things. And they're from all around the world. They're not only from Australia. So even though, this is not my own personal idea, I just decided to do it. Other people are also interested and inspired to try the same thing, because now we've shared that idea. And that's what LinkedIn is so powerful for, because as nurses, we have so much to give. As you were saying, we can share glimmers of how beautiful a nurse's life is. I mean, we get those rare, special moments, and we're privy to seeing and feeling things that most people don't get to see in their lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
But that we can share. But also, you were referring to the stereotypes about nurses being humble and the humility that goes with being a nurse. And while I love that about nurses, I don't think that LinkedIn is necessarily a bragging platform, which is some of the other feedback that's come out, is people perceiving that if they're sharing their knowledge or posting on LinkedIn, that they're trying to show off or, just brag, I guess. And what a lot of the feedback was from nurses who do post is that they feel like they're contributing to nursing, and they feel like they're contributing to other people. And that's why I post as well, because when there is a great idea, it should be shared. We can lift each other so much more by sharing these ideas than by keeping them to ourselves and letting our one unit and our one hospital be the one to benefit from this, when hundreds and thousands of people could. And that is why social media is so powerful. And that is why we all need to be on LinkedIn and sharing our ideas with each other. And that's why you and I have talked about creating, a hashtag for people to post in, to make sure that other nurses can see their posts.
Yeah. So we talked about having the hashtag the nurse club, haven't we? Because I think some of the comments there, I've tried posting a couple of times, but no one's commented, and I'm not sure anyone's seeing it. And I think, you get that with any social media platform, don't you? You are at the mercy of the algorithms in the social media platform. So, and as well, if you think about your own activity on LinkedIn, how many times are you browsing, or someone says stalking, or just kind of looking at things, but not actually engaging and commenting or even liking? And those are the things that are going to boost someone else's post or boost it to your audience. Now, I'm no LinkedIn expert, and hopefully I think in week 3 of this 4-week series, we're going to be talking some more kind of the technical what's and how's and when to post, and taking some advice on that, because neither of it, we're nurses. I'm a coach and a nurse. You're a nurse. We didn't introduce ourselves properly, but you're a nurse in a leadership management position. So we're not LinkedIn experts by any means, but we're going to take some advice and hopefully be able to share some of that stuff later in another video. But yeah, I think what you say about it being a powerful platform for sharing and collaborating is right. And I suppose if you just switch that mental attitude or approach in your mind, that I'm not bragging, it's just that I want to share. And actually, why not celebrate some of the things that we do? It's not necessarily bragging, it's celebrating some of the achievements and some of the wonderful things that are going on in your life. Then it's nice. And generally I find people are very supportive on LinkedIn. I mean, I shared something the other day about an achievement I was very proud of, getting my coaching postgraduate certification, and I attached it to some things that I'd learned around my one of my assignments I'd done on coaching in organizations, and the power of coaching in nursing, and how useful the two of them together can be. So I just shared some of what I had learned, and that post has had massive engagement. And it's a really kind of it helps you feel valued and heard, which I think, again, for nurses, they struggle to feel valued and heard as a profession, and even within their own unit or within their own team or within the hierarchical management structure that is often in place in some systems that nurses work in. It is hard to feel like you really have a voice and that your voice matters. And so when you start posting on LinkedIn and realize you do have a voice, and people do want to listen to your opinion, and people do value what you have to say, from a personal point of view, that's quite empowering. I don't know what you think about that, Tracy.
Absolutely. Well, I do. Until I posted on LinkedIn, I guess I didn't really have a place to share my thoughts and views and opinions. And now one of the functions of LinkedIn is you can see trends of people who are viewing your posts. So you can see if managers are viewing your post, or if directors are viewing your post, or if people from other sectors or other countries are viewing your post. And I've been really fascinated to see who's been looking at mine and how far the reach has truly gone. And just you were sharing about your coaching post, I just wanted to share a little story about one of my posts. So I wrote an article on LinkedIn called Lizard Brain Me, and it was talking about how I used a tool I created at work to help mediate conflict, making it easier for managers. And I applied it to myself in an out of work conflict. And interestingly enough, even though I put it up as a resource for other people to use in their workplaces, the most feedback I've had is from people saying, oh, I was having a conflict with my family, and I was like, where's that checklist Tracy did? And then the feedback that I've had is a lot of people using it in their personal lives as well. And that's what I did. I created it as a tool for the workspace. So that's been fascinating for me too.
Yeah. Well, to say, work and life, it's no separating the two sometimes, is there? We are who we are, whether we show up at work or in life, and we can use the things we use at work in our personal lives too. So yeah. And you were telling me yesterday about some engagement and the kind of, I suppose, the idea that you don't know who's watching and you don't know who's reading. And where some of these posts are being seen, like you said, you were looking at who's been looking at your posts, and there's been some quite senior management that are interested in some of the things that you're posting. So tell me a bit more about that?
Yes. So yeah, there have been, and that's just not only in Australia, not only locally, but internationally. There's been people from high levels. Sometimes there's been a trend of maybe executive directors or CEOs or business strategists looking at my posts, or sometimes they're consultants, and it's hard to tell where they're from. But it is really fascinating to see how far this can go. And even when I've been to the last few conferences that I've been to, many people who I have not met in real life, and did not sometimes realize we were connections on LinkedIn have approached me and said, "Oh, Tracy," and they know me because I do regularly post on LinkedIn and I do share the experiences that I've had. There's a lot of positive ones and some are, I wish that I was better in that time, and I would share that as well, just because we're all human and we all make mistakes. And sometimes the greatest learnings that we can give to other people are from our own mistakes. So it's really, you never know how far these posts are going to go. You never know what opportunities will be created by these. I've been lucky enough to be on some podcasts because of some of the articles that I've written, and also had some other opportunities come up directly related to my activity on LinkedIn and the things that I'm trying to share and the things that I'm trying to put out there. In my organization, the leadership and capability team have been using a lot of my management related articles in their programs to support managers, which I'm really proud of, because I wish that someone had given these to me when I started. So it really is helping other people. And also, I feel rewarded when I get to help other people. So it's a two-way street.
Yeah, for sure. So it's more, I mean, we can kind of think of it as collaboration, sharing, learning, connecting with people from all over the world, opportunities for your career, opportunities to feel valued, have your voice heard, to feel empowered, to connect with some other wonderful nursing colleagues and peers. Then really it just seems like a no-brainer as to why nurses shouldn't be on this platform and engaging and posting more often when we put it like that.
Also, I would just like to say that one of the things that came up was that, as nurses, we've sort of been raised to be the sidekicks. We've been the sidekicks to doctors for quite some time, and now, because of the way the world's going, we're needing to step up. We need to step into our power, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I agree. And stronger together. Yeah, stronger together, collaboration and one big voice, then hopefully we can make the changes needed. So I don't know about you, but I don't really have a huge amount more to say. We kind of wanted to talk really about the benefits of LinkedIn today, and I feel like we've covered those pretty well. Is there anything else you'd like to contribute? Trying to kind of stifle your cough there. You okay? Do you need some water?
Yeah, no, I should have brought water. I'm just sitting out in the garage, everyone, because my children are trying to sleep with my husband in the house. So, no, I just wanted to go back and say we're going to create that hashtag, the Nurse Club. So if you are a nurse and you want to post something on LinkedIn and you want other nurses to see it and you want to follow other nurses, follow the hashtag, the Nurse Club, because that's where you'll be able to do that.
Yeah, fabulous. So, I don't know if you're anything like me, but I like to take action with things that I learn. It sounds like, Tracy, you're similar. A psychologist says that everyone should come with a user manual, and hey, the next thing you've got one. So, it's like riding a bike. You don't learn to ride a bike by reading a manual, do you? You learn by getting on it, and you might fall off and you might make some bloopers along the way, but hey ho, so that's life, isn't it? So my challenge to you really is that if you are already on LinkedIn, is to post something, or if you don't feel up to posting, just start by putting some comments on other people's posts as a little safe kind of step in the right direction. And I suppose if you are not on LinkedIn, then check it out, register for an account, go into it and set up your profile. And then if you want to connect with people, then as a starting point, just connect with me. I'm Amy Sinacola, and Tracy Churchill. We'll accept your connection request, and then you're started, aren't you? It's as easy as that. So yeah, hashtag the Nurse Club for anything you want to post. And next week we are going to be having another chat, and I think next week we are going to talk about how to get over the things you tell yourself about why you shouldn't or can't post on LinkedIn, those things that Tracy alluded to earlier about, oh, I don't know what to post, or I'm not qualified enough, or what if it gets picked up at the board of my hospital and they're not happy with me, and all the other themes really that have come from Tracy's post that she put on there about our nurses posting on LinkedIn. We'll be looking through those and seeing what it is that are holding people back. So have a look at that post yourself as well, if you want to. That will be on Tracy's feed. I think that's all from me. for today? Is there
Yeah,
anything else
it's
you'd
been
like
great
to add?
talking to you.
Yeah, you too,
Mm.
Tracy. So thank you everyone for listening, and I look forward to talking to you all again next week. Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
All right, bye, take care.